you, of course, made the movie. You had to play pregnant.
Right.
Now you are pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
When you look back at the film, how good were your instincts?
I think I did pretty good. And it's, you know, I'm so happy that the order in which it came, I must have been putting this energy out anyway. And it just happened that the film came first, but I'm really happy that it made it so much more challenging for me. You know, I went out and I talked with women that had children, women who were pregnant, and it made all of those little things that I had to make real for myself on a physical level, which, whether it was perfecting the walk, the sitting, the whole physical behavioral element or the emotional element. And now, when I watch the movie, it's so funny. There's little things that I say, oh my God, that really is happening.
It's funny talking to you. I mean, you're quite young, but you seem to have an older soul somehow. Do you ever feel that you're older than your years?
I think more so when I hear it. You know, like you sharing something that you perceive. I don't really think about it a lot. I think I've always been a little more mature.
Do you think because you traveled around so much when you were growing up?
Maybe that has something to do with it. I'm sure it does. And it's like I wonder what came first. I mean, the fact that I took so many actions, adult-type actions in my life, moving out young and all of those things, or did I just think that I could do it? I guess so.
Most people can remember what it was or when it was in their lives that made them realize they were going to be an actor.
Mm-hmm.
When was that point for you?
Well, when I listened to my family talk, I was always talking about doing this. But I think when I really made the conscious decision was when I was about 15 years old. And because I was living in California, I knew that it could be a reality, at least to pursue it. And I think that I made that decision. You know, I was going to school and it just hit me that that's what I wanted to try and do. And that nothing else mattered. That was it.
It's so wonderful, you know, all of you that have these great lives, and I know that you're thankful for all those things, but it's also such a bummer that you have to do. I mean, you know, that you're invaded and, you know, that you can't just have your baby in your life.
Oh, you mean like helicopters flying over our backyard?
Yeah. I mean, you must
It's a strange thing.
You must get angry sometimes.
Oh, yeah. It does. I mean, but it's like with all things. It's like I said about my feelings being hurt. On one hand, it's like you get mad, but I have a choice too. Do I want to stay mad and just be really angry all the time? Or you just have to like let it out, and hopefully that doesn't last more than a half an hour and move on. And sometimes, you know, you just have to also really choose carefully where you go, those kind of things. I don't know if you've ever experienced what it's like to have a lot of cameras in your face and people on you, but it's really scary. There was a time the other night I was at a screening of a film and we didn't anticipate press being there, so we weren't prepared. So we were walking to our car and there were so many flashes going off that we couldn't even see where we were walking. And it's really sort of scary, you know, to have that experience. And I think that, you know, Bruce is, particularly with me, is really protective. And I think, you know, none of us want to like fly off, but you get to the point where you get pushed. And some of us deal with fear in one way, some of us lash out, and some of us pull in. And I think, you know, again, for the most part, you'd like to try and find a middle place where you just sort of deal with it and you're going straight ahead. But sometimes when it's like that, you know, you can't help but want to just lash back at these people because they don't hear you, they don't listen, they have no respect because they're doing their job. That's what they do for a living. That's how they make their, you know, their rent and their food on the table. And who you are and as a person and how you feel is of no importance to them.
What was the rush to tie the knot?
I don't know, it didn't seem like, there was no rush. As a matter of fact, when we made our decision, it was not, you know, obviously we got married in Las Vegas. We went there to see a boxing match, which will probably be my last, you know. And we had sort of talked about it laughingly, and it just seemed okay. And I don't know, we never thought about that it was too soon, or maybe I did more than he did. He just kept telling me, take your time, I'll wait, I'm not in a rush, you know, whatever time you need. I was like, okay. And then it just seemed like it didn't matter.
Yeah.
That we loved each other so much.
Are you impulsive like that?
I prefer to think of myself as spontaneous, and I have a real particular opinion about being impulsive and spontaneous. And because impulsive implies that I didn't think about the consequences, and I did very much. And so yes, I think I'm a spontaneous person. And at many times in my life I've been impulsive, so I try to really choose carefully.
And it's girl, boy, whatever.
So far, we don't know, so whatever. I figure whatever it is, that's exactly what I'm meant to have.
You believe in fate a little bit?
Definitely. I don't believe there are accidents or coincidence.
So then you and Bruce Willis were destined to be together.
I guess so.
Why do you think he's going to be a good dad?
Because he's generous, and he's warm, and he wants it. And he's really passionate, and he's wonderful with children. I mean, it's a given. If you could just see him, it's really great.